the story of Abraham Lincoln. It is about the life of Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. Abe Lincoln's story is an inspiration to people everywhere. Born on February 12, 1809, in a log cabin, Abe grew up in a poor household, lost his mother as a child, and wasn't able to go to school. Still, he studied on his own and became one of the most famous presidents in American history. Are you ready to hear more? Fantastic! Let's begin. Abe Lincoln hunkered down behind a tree. Pulling back his arrow, he aimed at a bear. The arrow pinged off a tree, and the wild bear ran away. Growing up in the wildlands of Kentucky and Indiana, Abraham Lincoln spent most of his days hunting and building fences, even though he preferred doing other things. "I don't like hunting," he said. "I would much rather read a book." When he was just 9 years old, his mother died. Abe's father married a new wife, who Abe loved very much. He called her his angel mother. Abraham worked hard to help his family survive. He worked on a farm, in a store, building fences, and more. Since he had to work so much, he couldn't go to school very often. Since no one in the family could help him, Abe taught himself to read and write. His angel mother encouraged him to learn as much as he could. But Abraham's family was poor. The only book they had was a Bible. The young boy didn't let that stop him. "Pa, I'm going to get a book," he would say. Then he would walk for miles just to borrow one. Some of his favorite books included Memorable Acts of George Washington, Robinson Crusoe, Pilgrim's Progress, and Aesop's Fables. Because he studied so hard, Abraham Lincoln was able to become a lawyer when he grew up. He was a good lawyer who helped prove a lot of people's innocence when they were falsely accused. One day, his cousin was accused of murder. Abe knew he was innocent and proved it when he realized the witness could not have seen the murder. It was too dark outside. The judge agreed and set his cousin free. People admired Abraham Lincoln's honesty and kindness. They wanted him to be the President of the United States of America. While he understood that being president was a big responsibility, he also knew he could do a lot of good and help many people. As the 16th President of the United States, Abe Lincoln had big plans for the country. Mostly, he wanted all men and women to be free. Not everyone in America agreed with him, however. People in the southern states depended on slaves to do work for them. People in the northern states believed that slavery was wrong. For that reason, and many others, the Civil War began. Many people died during the Civil War. This bothered President Lincoln. He wanted all of the brave soldiers on both sides to be remembered for their service in the war. On November 19, 1863, President Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. It was a speech honoring the people who had lost their lives in the war. The Gettysburg Address is considered one of the greatest speeches in the history of the United States. It was delivered on the site of the Battle of Gettysburg, one of the deadliest battles of the Civil War. After the war ended in 1863, President Lincoln delivered another speech that is now famous. The Emancipation Proclamation declared all men and women, no matter their color or race, to be free. Slavery was no longer legal in the United States of America. While this made many people very happy, others were angry with the president. On April 14, 1865, a man named John Wilkes Booth shot and killed Abraham Lincoln. The assassination of the president was part of a plot created in minds of men who did not like the outcome of the war. In 1868, a statue of President Lincoln was placed in Washington, D.C. Years later, in 1922, the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated. The memorial included a 19-foot statue of Abraham Lincoln. Many people come from all over the world to see this impressive monument. There are memorial reminders of this great president all around us today. Postage stamps and $5 bills feature portraits of Abraham Lincoln. His face is also one of the 4 carved into Mount Rushmore. Towns, cities, and counties throughout the United States are named after him, and countless statues and monuments honor his memory. Abraham Lincoln was born into a poor family. He didn't have fame or money or an education, yet he worked hard for what he believed in. Today, people everywhere remember Honest Abe for his courage and integrity.